everybody. Welcome back to the Nerdy Neighborhood and welcome back to your Friendly Neighborhood Comic Show. I'm your host, Lauren, your Friendly Neighborhood Bi, and I'm joined for the fourth time at bare minimum by Jeff Schiller, who is the writer and creator of Magic Powder. If you guys have been here before, you know how great he is. If you haven't, welcome. You're going to learn today, so sit down, grab a drink, whatever you need. How's it going, Jeff?
Oh, it's going pretty good. What is it today? Tuesday? So yeah, it's been a nice Tuesday. Monday was a little slow in getting the week going, but yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm happy I'm here. You know, it's been a while since I've done a podcast. I think over a week now. Oh, you know, it's crazy. So.
Oh my, that's like way too long. If you're on a Kickstarter campaign, you gotta do like 3 a week at bare minimum, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. I think my record in one campaign is only 6 podcasts. So yeah, I gotta get it out. I gotta get them double digits one of these days. But I feel like, you know, people get sick of me talking about the same things, and so I try not to overdo it. But
nah, that's the thing. Every show has a different audience, so it's just more exposure. So even if people are bothered, you bother enough people, they have to back it because they're like, if it'll make them happy, I guess.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, that's kind of the way I run my Twitter too. You know what I mean? Like if I just keep doing it, eventually they'll give in. You know, so I'm just like, yeah, back, Kickstarter. Hey, Magic Powder. Like, what are you gonna do? It's like if you're on the sidewalk and everybody that walks by, you're like, hey, you want one? You want one? You want one? You want one? So you got to do that online. So that's how I try to run it.
It's just numbers. That's all sales are. If you talk to 150 people, you'll get at least 2 to 5 sales, and people are like, that's nothing, but like that's still progress. That's just how numbers work.
Yeah, exactly. Like even like an email list, like you can send it out and like, you know, maybe you get 10% of those people that, you know, come, maybe more, you know what I mean? It just depends like what your rates are. But like, yeah, you don't want to expect 100% retention rate and stuff like that. Because, you know, that's not going to happen. Even if the people want to back it, not everybody has the time. Not everybody even sees the campaign, stuff like that. Not everybody has the money, stuff like that. So you could always, you know, you always got to grow your audience just because, you know, you can't sustain on the same people every time. Even like, you know, say someone backs at one campaign, can't back in that campaign, they jump in again the third campaign, you know, stuff like that. So it's just, yeah, numbers, you know that.
Yeah. Well, and one thing that's really cool is that you seem to have gotten, you know, such a good, you know, audience number over the last 3 issues before this one that's on Kickstarter now. Because I think you said your last campaign had 347 backers. I think you're saying at about 237, so not too far off for 12 days left, which is amazing. And so you're not only getting all these backers, but you're retaining so many of them. I mean, how do you do that? Because I feel like that's a big question people ask is, how do I keep people interested in that next issue?
I think a big part of it is, you know, I keep sending out a lot of updates. I'm pretty active on social media, and a big part of my following is from Twitter. So, you know, they keep up with me there, that kind of thing. And I think it's like a personality thing. Like this guy, Dan, hit me up a couple weeks ago during the campaign. And he was like, you know, I don't even like fantasy stuff, but I'm going to back your comic because you seem cool, stuff like that. So I think a big part of it is just like, you know, the personality kind of thing and just being out there. And like, you know, I see other people's campaigns or I see other people posting stuff and, you know, just throw likes, throw comments, just try to be a part of, you know, interacting with the people who interact with you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't want to be somebody who just like ignores people after like they back me. I'm like, hey, you know, thanks for the money, bye. You know, like I don't know.
Right.
It's just more fun when you're a part of the community to actually be a part of it and interact with everybody and stuff.
Yeah,
so I think that
absolutely.
Helps, yeah.
I love that, and I love what you mentioned about. I'm trying to remember. I lost my train of thought as I was trying to listen to you and think at the same time. It's very hard to do that. Let me tell you, I can multitask, but doing those 2 things.
I've had that problem.
It breaks my brain.
Sometimes I'll be on like a podcast with like other guests and they'll ask one question for like 6 of us. And by the time it gets to you, like, oh, what was I going to say? I had a good answer, but now it's gone. So yeah.
It's like I had this genius response that was carefully woven up. I tried to keep it while also listening to people so that I didn't just sit waiting to respond, but then you just get screwed over. So, but one thing I love about Magic Powder is that, you know, this Dan you mentioned, and how they're into fantasy. I'm also not that into fantasy, but I've backed every single Magic Powder. I wrote a review for the first issue as well. And it continues to still be something I really enjoy, even though I'm not a fantasy person. I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, not only do I enjoy you as a creator and all that, but I also just enjoy the personalities of the characters. You really do such a great job fleshing out all the characters in this world. How do you prioritize that in terms of, you got the world building, you got the characters, you got all these different things going on? How the heck do you make the time for, oh yeah, let me, make sure the personalities are really enjoyable to read?
To be honest, like that's one of those things I kind of worry about when I'm writing it, because like my main focus is the overall story, you know what I mean? And then it's like, yeah, you have characters you focus on, stuff like that. But I worry that like with so much going on that there's not enough characterization and stuff. So I don't even, to me, I'm not even sure I'm getting enough personality across. So it's like, now that you're telling me like, okay, that's what stands out to you. Like that makes me feel good, because I worry about it. Like, oh, do these characters all feel the same? Do they even, like, does anyone even care about these people? Like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, so I don't know. Like, I guess a big part of it is like, I try to, before I even put them on the page, I kind of think about like, what do they even do? And what are their purpose? That kind of stuff. Like no one's just like, they all have a backstory, even if you don't get to see it. Although the Fez report kind of fleshes that out. If you ever read after issues, and the digital versions have the Fez reports. So, I don't know. I don't know exactly how I do it. I guess a big part of it is the way they act is their personality. You know what I mean? So you don't really have the dialogue always, but you do see what they do. So like you can tell, like, for instance, the Goblin Breaker, who's at the beginning of every issue, you can see he's a drug addict just by the way he lives and stuff like that. You can see he's kind of like, lost, doesn't really have a lot. He's like a wayward soul kind of person. Like he's just going around, getting high, interacting with he kind of knows everybody, but nobody knows him kind of thing. Like, I don't know if that comes across, but like, that's what I'm going for with that. And then you got, the Dwarf Father is just like this bored old man who's been in power so long. He's looking for something to keep him going, keep him interested. Then there's other people out here fighting for survival. Like, and I just try to show that within the panel, with the action itself. I think Danielle helps a lot too. Like the personality comes through in the way they look and the way they dress and the way they live, and all that's the art by Danielle. So, and this art right here is Samuel, who he usually goes off of Danielle's art to do the covers. So this is the cover for issue number 4, and he's done the A cover for all 4 issues, and the trade paperback and the coloring book and stuff. And then right now we have Matt Harding is my variant artist. He's doing the Grand Theft Auto cover, which we have. It's black and white right now, but it will be colored this week. We're gonna do like a live stream where he colors it. So we'll be able to release what it'll actually look like. So I'm excited about that. And he did the variant cover on issue 2, which was kind of based on like a Taxi Driver homage. Like, 'cause I had a poster that was similar to that cover. So like I've been kind of asking him to do homages for me and stuff. So like Matt, I love Grand Theft Auto. I thought this would be something that draws people's eyes. You know what I mean? Like, oh damn, what is that? And like, even if they don't even know it's a comic book or something, they'll Grand Theft Auto, maybe they'll look at it for a second. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure I was like, shit, now I have to get both covers, because I love the first cover. I love the composition of it, the like mafia feel to it. The other covers have, some mafia feel, but I feel like that was just like the biggest mafia feel, which it's weird to say, but I'm into mafia shit. Like, the old gangs, and like I've been playing the mafia video games the last couple months, the old ones, and like, they're freaking fun, man. Like, would I ever be in a mafia? Absolutely not. But is it fun playing the storylines and like getting into the drama of it all? Absolutely. And then this Grand Theft Auto cover, like, Grand Theft Auto's plot is absolutely horrible. I despise the plot, but it's such a fun game to play. So I saw both. I was like, well, damn it, Jeff. Damn it, team. You all got me. Like, take my money. So I'm pretty sure I ordered both. And really excited to see this in color, because I know it's going to just pop and completely blow everything out of the water.
Yeah, I'm freaking stoked. And like, yeah, I think, Matt's great. And his colored one, like the way he colored that last cover, it's probably my favorite cover of the whole series. Like, it's real blue, real green, which are like probably my 2 favorite colors. So like, yeah, I'm excited. And he put a lot of detail into this Grand Theft Auto cover, because originally in that top left corner box, it was a helicopter, because apparently every Grand Theft Auto cover that's like this has a helicopter there. But I was like, yo, Matt, this is not Godfather 3. We do not have a helicopter in Magic Powder. You got to get that out of there. Could you put the drill in from last issue, that kind of thing? And he's like, I got it, no problem, And so there it is. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to how he colors it. I think even the logo and stuff like that, he's gonna touch up, he said, and stuff. So I'm excited as much as anybody. Like, I can't wait to get my copy of this. So yeah, I'm excited.
Right? And I love that, he wanted to use the helicopter for Grand Theft Auto, and you were like, hey, great idea conceptually, but we got to put a Magic Powder element to really put it together. I think that's genius. It's a perfect way to homage the game while also actually honoring what you're making, which is magic powder. And that's one thing I think that really works for me for a magic powder world, is that even though this is technically a fantasy story, it's also a crime story. So if you're into crime and mafia and all the drama and shit with that, like, this is completely up your alley, because this isn't like some Lord of the Rings lore that goes over your head completely. There's definitely some stuff that if you like Lord of the Rings, you'll still enjoy this too. But like, the crime stuff, man, you guys do such a great job, not only writing it yourself, Jeff, but with the art and everything. It just, it blows my mind every single time. And I was so happily pissed when I saw these covers, because I was like, just when I thought the covers couldn't get better, damn it, guys.
We pull you back in, like Pacino. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, like, oh man, you're not wrong. And some about it is like, to me, I was watching all the great crime shows during like the pandemic and stuff. And, I was running out of stuff. So I started watching Gomorrah in Italy, which ended up possibly being my favorite show ever. But but while watching these shows like Fargo, or even going back and watching Breaking Bad and The Sopranos or The Wire, it's like, there's been so many great crime stories already told on Earth. And I was like, man, what do I got to add to that? So I was like, maybe if I created my own world and had the crime stories evolve that way, I have something original to bring to those kinds of genres. So yeah, that's why it's in a fantasy world. You know what I mean? Like, because originally, I love fantasy stuff. I love Game of Thrones. Like you said, Lord of the Rings. Those movies are great. All kinds of stuff. Final Fantasy video games. I mean, whatever. There's all kinds of stuff. But Skyrim's, all Dark Souls, like Berserk comics. Whatever. There's an endless amount of fantasy stuff that definitely influences me as well. But yeah, it's definitely the crime tales and those kind of things, like the scheming, because it's almost like a political thing too. But it's like the politics of a family of gangsters or whatever, what I'm saying, instead of just like, oh, here's a bunch of yuppie politicians. But like, that's kind of what was fun about Game of Thrones, I felt like. But now, so it's almost like a game of, it's all in the game of, magic powder kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I just love those kinds of aspects of it. So yeah, the crime thing is definitely a big part of it. And this cover, like you said, it has a mafia feel, but it's also a little bit based on the LA Noire cover, which is another Rockstar game that I love.
Yes.
So like, yeah, I had Samuel like check that out, and I was like, so both these covers are based on like Rockstar games, which are huge influence on me back since Grand Theft Auto 1. I remember my dad picking me up. I think I was in 7th grade at the time, and he picked me up from school, which he never did at the time. But he's like, I got this game you got to play on the PC, and he drove me home, and man, it was crazy. Grand Theft Auto was nuts. I never played anything like it. It's to this day, games are still ripping it off, and it's just like, it's amazing. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to make our own Grand Theft Auto rip-off video game of Magic Powder one day. It'll be amazing.
That would be perfect, man, because I mean, by the time you get that out, we might hear a release date for Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, we might get a release date.
Yeah, exactly. Fingers crossed. Even just videos of it being produced would be nice at this point, knowing they're making a new one. Because man, after Grand Theft Auto 5, I remember it was like 2013. Was that 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I remember that was like the first time I had a seizure, was playing Grand Theft Auto. It wasn't from playing Grand Theft Auto. Well, maybe it was. Okay. I don't really know. But so we were playing it all night like a bunch of psychos, and then I went to the bathroom, and I guess I never came back. And the next day I woke up in the bathroom, like in the bathtub, and like my roommates are like, "Yo, you can't be getting drunk and fall asleep in the bathtub or whatever." And I'm like, "Bro, I didn't drink at all last night. I don't know what happened. I had no idea what happened. I just had a seizure, and that was the first time I had one, so I didn't know." And then a few months later, I had one in front of somebody, and then it kind of all came, oh, that's what's going on here. But yeah, so then anyway, I've been having seizures for 10 years. There's only been one Grand Theft Auto this entire time. What the, let's get a new Grand Theft Auto out here. That's all.
You've never had Grand Theft Auto you could try redeem yourself on, be like, I will play it, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to fix me, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's just crazy to think about. It's been that long now. And like, what has it been? Yeah. How many versions? I had it on 360, then I had it on PS4. It's on PS5. Man, yeah. GTA Online. Do you play GTA Online at all?
I haven't, but honestly, that's mostly because I'm not great at shooter games in general. Like, I can do it, especially like if I'm just single player story mode. But when I'm playing against other people, I will not do Call of Duty Online because I will die every 5 seconds by some 12-year-old kid. I can't do it.
I don't think I have it in me anymore like that. Like, growing up, like during college and stuff, like with Modern Warfare 2 and stuff, like, and you had 6 of your friends, like we would just run rooms and stuff. Like that was fun, but like I don't know, like yeah, like you said, but Grand Theft Auto, at least you can do like co-op missions, like rob banks together and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun.
That. I might have to try that sometime. But I still I haven't upgraded my GTA 5. It's still on PS3. I haven't gone past that.
And that's the problem, I guess. They won't let us play cross-platform and stuff because I have friends on Xbox still, and it's like, yeah, there's no way. So like, yeah, I'm sure PS3 can't link with PS4. It's so dumb. But they want to make us pay 4 times for the same game.
Well, and it just sucks too because it's like if I could just get the PS5 version, like pay $60 over for it and get all my save data from 3 and just transfer it, I would have done it already, honestly. They'd have my money, but because I can't do that, they don't have my money.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can do that because when I had my 360, because I had it on 360 and then I got a PS4 for Christmas, whatever, 2014 or so, maybe it was 15, I don't remember. I think it was 14. So anyway, I was like, man, I got to start all over on Sony. But since my Rockstar account was linked to the account, you just had to sign into your Rockstar account, and it was like, you want to transfer to this? And I was like, yep. So now I've been on PlayStation ever since. So all my money came, all my stats, everything.
I might have to check that out then, because I don't know, because PS3 is still older than PS4. So hopefully the account's still good, because shit, Jeff, you might have just got me to spend $60 on a PS5 version.
Just wait till it's on sale. At this point, you just wait till it's on sale, But yeah, I would say, it's one of those things like, I don't have online over here because my internet's kind of like, not good enough. But man, if I did, I just love, just doing the co-op stuff is really fun. Like even if you just play a little bit, like, you get 4 friends together, you run a couple banks, it's fun. Like, the money at this point is irrelevant to me. Like I don't need to buy anything. There was actually a whole glitch where we would go to the casino and like bet horses, and we always knew who was going to win. I forget how now, but yeah, so we made so much money. Like we own all the stupid flying cars and everything. So like the money's irrelevant at this point. It's just fun to rob banks together. But yeah,
I mean, absolutely. Who doesn't want to do that? I mean, there's so many characters that if they could do a Magic Powder, I feel like they would. So
that would be crazy. Like someday maybe. But yeah, like actually, we have a Magic Powder video game like in development for the last like a year or so. Me, my friend Chris, Danielle's actually done some art. Like if you look on my Instagram, you can find the art for it. But yeah, it's just like Chris is really busy, so it's hard to produce it. But eventually, it'll we're working on it. It's like a top-down shooter. It'll be more like Hotline Miami, something like that. But yeah. We'll see. That's
awesome, man. Well, you guys heard it here. I don't know if it was first or not, but you heard it here. Magic Powder video game is in the works. So now you really need to back this, because if we don't get this back, that video game can't happen. So we want fun video games, right? We want them with our comics.
Yeah, exactly. And like, new video games like we were talking about. But yeah, hell yeah.
Right. So. Right. God knows we need some good new video games, because I mean, I'm not in the gamer world, but I feel like it's been slacking. So especially if you can get a comic and a video game together, like that's like the biggest nerdgasm, I feel like. Like you can't talk about it.
And the idea with the game would be like, it's going to be a prequel to like before the Dwarf Father was the Dwarf Father and stuff like that. And you see kind of how he takes over the Thez and everything. Because, a lot of video games, like, I feel like Dragon Ball Z has a real problem where every time you play a Dragon Ball Z video game, you're playing the exact same story. It's like, here comes Raditz, here comes Nappa, here comes Vegeta, like, all right, Frieza, you know what I mean? Like, I've done it so many times. Like, so if we do Magic Powder video games, I don't really want it to follow the comic book story. I just want it to add to the world and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And you mentioned it earlier, and I forgot to ask, but the Thez report. So for those that don't know what that is, what in the world is a Thez report?
So now it's easier to know, but like in this issue, you find out who actually creates the Thez report, but basically it's just like our lore. So like if you ever read The Watchmen or anything like that, at the end there's a lot of supplemental reading and stuff like that. So I was inspired to basically add an extra lore that way. And so the Thez report is like a specific character using their magic powder sorcery powers to essentially, look at what other people are doing in town and keep track of them, record it, stuff like that. And so the Thez report is just like their own references to that. And so like when you open up those, each one says like, if you're reading this, basically, if you read this, you'll die kind of thing. It's like a threat anytime you're about to read it and stuff like that. But it was just another way to basically give more backstory and stuff to each character, because like there's only 21 pages, so I can only do so much with so many characters. I try to, every time there's a new character, I try to give them more on the Thez report.
Yeah, and that's one thing I think that is brutally hilarious and terrible at the same time, is it's like, this one is dead. RIP. Like you do that every single time, and it's just such a fun way, I think, to express your own humor while, keeping us at the same time involved in the world and keeping up with what's going on. Like, it serves both purposes.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, I don't know exactly what inspired me to do it, but I just knew there was gonna be a bloody time, and I was like, yeah, every issue we're gonna do rest in peace, whoever, keep so everyone can keep track of who died and stuff like that and everything. And so I have another comic book I'm working on right now, and there'll be a bit of a spin on that in the back of those too. But it'll be a little bit more like less funny and more serious, like, 'cause yeah, like you said, like a Magic Powder, it's more like a lives are frivolous, and if you're in the game, you're probably gonna die, so that's how it goes. But and the other comic I'm doing is a little bit more like the deaths hit a little harder and stuff like that, so it'll be keeping track of almost like how much this guy has really done, because you watch all these movies, action movies and stuff like that, they kill 40 people and they don't, oh, no big deal. Then they let the ending guy go and stuff. They're like, nah, this is bad to kill people. It's like, bro, you just killed 40 dudes. You're gonna let this guy get away? But so I wanted to kind of like keep track of it, almost like how Archer would keep track of the bullets all the time.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So just like little stupid things. So like, just like those kind of things, after reading comics and watching movies and, all these things, you just see the little things that haven't been done. You just try to fit it in. So that's where the Rest in Peace page kind of came from. I just wanted to have my own little thing that I don't think anyone else had done yet. And it's working. I mean,
it's definitely its own thing. And I think, again, it just adds to Magic Powder, because every single time now that I get an issue, I'm like, all right, who's going to be dead at the end?
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, like, so for issue 4, sometimes, there's not really an action scene or something. So like, how does someone die or something like that? So you'll have to see like how I worked it out in issue number 4, because issue 4 is more of like a puzzle piece. Like everything's coming together in issue 4. But I wouldn't say anyone gets shot or killed in this. So you'll have to see how I work that Rest in Peace page in. But yeah, it's definitely there though. I'll guarantee you that.
It sounds like more mystery this time around.
Yeah, definitely. This one, that's kind of why I did the LA Noir cover, because like, yeah, it's more of a like the detective kind of episode, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And you actually answered the question I was going to ask, which is what might make this issue different than the others. So that's fully it right there. I mean, this is where every Magic Powder fan's going to have to get their magnifying glass and look at every single detail to figure out, or try to figure out, what the heck's going on.
And it's also kind of like a joke on that genre too. You'll see, because like so like the best detective in Thez, you're gonna see kind of why he's the best detective. So it's one of those kind of things that it's kind of like, is he really the best? You know what I mean? Like, you'll see it. But yeah, so it's kind of like a little spin on that too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this guy's actually hard nosed, like hard boiled guy. Like he's just another guy trying to scam motherfucking people in town and stuff like that, make his way. Without getting, without ending up on the RIP page,
Yeah, right. Can I just not end up on that page? That would be kind of hilarious if, like, there's some way you work that, like, in world where they're like, I don't want to end up there, brah. And it's like, but man, you might you keep doing this, whatever it is.
Like, for instance, the page we're looking at right now, like, that orc in the front, like, that's my buddy Jason, and he's like one of the characters that bought in. And then in the background, that goblin that's standing in the back, that's my buddy Matt, and him too. I don't know what's gonna happen. This is their second issue already. I don't know. That's kind of long in Magic Powder, so we'll see what happens to them. Whatever, and that, as well as other people. Like, so if you do buy like a character, other people have, like, one of the detective characters is based on one of our backers and stuff like that. And so if you do buy like a speaking character, I don't know how much you're going to talk, stuff like that. Like, you'll definitely speak, everything like that. But another guarantee is you will be in more than one issue if you're a speaking character, because you're part of the story at that point. So like, you'll pop up more than once. Sometimes you might, I mean, I haven't gotten far enough to like make someone a long running character, but there's a few ideas I have where it's like, this person's obviously going to stick around, and like people get excited to see them and stuff like that. So.
I love that. Fun. Yeah, I was gonna ask, because I in particular, the orc in the front, I was like, he looks like that guy from the last issue. He looks super familiar. So I absolutely love how because I see that reward on Kickstarter, often enough where creators are like, I'll draw you into a story if you pay this much or what have you, which is great. But I feel like sometimes it's just, you get the 1-page appearance and that's it, or one panel, which isn't necessarily awful, especially if you're upfront about what that is and people are pay for it. That's totally okay. But I personally love how you go out of your way to put it in the story. You're not offering up something you can't do. And Danielle does such a good job drawing them in. I mean, I know you had that picture, I think on the last campaign at least, of the orc and then like the actual guy it is, comparing them and how the kind of the differences in the transformation to page. And it's so cool, man. Like absolutely brilliant on your guys' part. And I know it takes so much time to do.
Like, I'm not exactly sure of Danielle's regular process, but like, I'm guessing having a reference photo helps him a little bit anyway, so I think it's kind of a thing where it's kind of helping, but it's also, like you said, he has to put all the real details in when someone paid and stuff like that. So it's amazing. But like, this orc, and then my buddy Chris, and then Anthony LaFauci, who does a podcast also called We Have Issues. He's in there, there's all kinds of people, and like, like it's just fun. But there's also a page like at the very top. So we do a thing where it's like, if you just want to be a background character, you might only be in one page, but like I try to make it like a good shot. So it's like at the very first page of this, there's like 8 backers on the very first page of issue 4 who backed, issue 3 for that kind of thing. So, and I try to do it early in the issue also, so I can show them the page early in production, so they're not just sitting around like, am I going to be in the comic and stuff. Sometimes it's hard to help that, because we got another guy, he had his dog in the picture and stuff, so I was like, all right, we'll make his dog kind of like a dire wolf and him and stuff. He didn't even ask to put the dog in the picture, but I was like, it'd be cool to have the dog. So there's a few animals in this issue. There's like a lynx also. We got a few different new animals. It's I wanted to add a little bit more like fantasy stuff to the world. So
yeah, I love that too. I think having the options and being clear about them as you have, and I think that's amazing. The more options, the better, because then people can pick what they really want and pick on the price they have and all that good stuff. What other rewards are still currently available in the campaign?
Right now, we have the regular stuff. Well, okay, you can get a issue 4 for just $3 digitally. You can get the black and white one. You get the color one. You can get the physical one. You can get all the catch-up stuff. So if you catch up physically, you'll get the trade paperback of Volume 1, which has the first 3 issues, all the Thez Report stuff, and then you'd also get issue 4. Then there's also the variants. So right now, if you want to get the GTA variant, you can go just that. You can just get issue 4 variant. Or you can go with like the Friend of the Family package, which means you get both issue covers and you get your name in the book. So there's always that option. Then we have the thing called like the full boat, which is everything we've ever had. So it's like you get all the digital copies, all the physical copies, you get stickers, you get bookmark, you get coloring book, you get everything. So that's one of our big ones. And then, like I said, there's still background character roles. I think 4 out of 8 are still available. And then there's 2 out of 4 speaking character roles available. And those characters are going to play a big part of the finale of this arc, because like 5th and 6th issue, it's going down, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a 6 issue arc is the first arc. So I have a bunch of plans after this, but yeah, we're going to be in issue 4 right now. So we're at the, like, issue 3 was the halfway point. That's why I did volume 1. And so, now we're getting into the thick of it all. Like first few issues was more of the setup, and now it's time to just start throwing bodies out the window. So we'll see how it goes.
Start throwing them out like in You're in Hitman. Throw them overboard.
Goodbye. Yep. No witnesses. But yeah, exactly. So yeah, it'll be fun. And then there's all kind of little gangster takes on stuff like that. Like how we've already done like the dungeons and like what it's like for like when you see Goodfellas and Ray Liotta going to prison, that kind of thing. Like our take on that, and then see the bookmark is based on the dungeon of Thez itself. And
yeah, I like that a lot. The coloring is really great on that, especially.
Yeah, I love it. Like, it's just, great artwork by Danielle, and then Raven put it together. And then, Comics Wellspring is the one who printed it, and it just came out really good. So that's the bookmark you can get right now. But also if you back, like we have, there's going to be a new bookmark based on issue 4, the very first page. And so that bookmark that'll just be kind of a thing everyone gets. You know what I mean? If you back, you get it. Like it was at the very first week. I'm like, every first week backer gets it. But usually I just give everybody the first week backer thing. So everybody's pretty much, once it's made, it's made. But yeah, so, this bookmark you can pay for if you want the old bookmark. The new bookmark, everyone's going to get if you back it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then what else? Oh, yeah, the coloring book. It's still the original coloring book. So if you have it, you have it. If you want another one, get another one. If you don't have it and you want to color some art, it's there. These stickers are from the Volume 1 stretch goals. Well, see, like that's the first, if you were a backer last time, you got the free sticker, and then the stretch goal was another free sticker. So if you missed that campaign, those stickers are available. And then here's the coloring book, and then that's pretty much it. We didn't go crazy on a lot of extra stuff, mostly because my sister is my graphic designer, and her computer has kind of not been great, so I didn't have really a lot of help. Oh, we got a new backer during this. Hey,
let's go. We're
winning. Thanks for backing. Heck yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love when that happens. So yeah, thank you. It's been a good day so far on the campaign. So we're 75% funded. Thank you, everybody. And now what are we? 112 away from the 350. So if we get 100, if we get to 350, that's our new backer record. Or 348. I'll take. If you want to go that. So that'll be cool.
350
so what's that?
is the new magic number. Everybody.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
If everybody gets at least 10 of their friends to back, we're good.
Yeah, if everyone did that, yeah, we'd be real good. Yeah, feel free to tell everybody you know. And that's kind of another reason Magic Powder is the way it is. Like, I wanted it to appeal to people who didn't read comic books, who don't like fantasy, who, it's like for everybody in a way, you know what I mean? Because it is a good story, but I kind of want, have a little bit of everything for everybody. So, there's even like the Minotaur, for instance, like I knew, Twitter has a big furry kind of like a community. So I'm like, all right, well, you gotta have a dope big ass animal. Yeah, of course not. And so it's like, I know what I'm getting into here. So I put it out there for them. We got Minotaurs, and I think actually I could name 2 people off the top of my head that definitely backed it for that reason. And it's like, it's a little bit of everything for everybody. So yeah, it's just a funny idea. Like I remember like when I came up with that, and I was like, yeah, there's no way that's not going to draw in some of that crowd. So, but the one thing I don't really have is like, there's not a lot of sexuality really in the book or anything like that. So like the numbers we get, I feel like are pretty good for something that doesn't have like a lot of that going on.
Right.
But not that I'm against it or anything. If you look in our updates, like I'm cool with any kind of comic as long as you're cool and you're not like out there trying to like be a dick to other people and stuff. So, but that's just not what we're going for. Cause like I said, I kind of want to appeal. It's not all ages, but I would say it's like a PG-13 kind of atmosphere of Magic Powder.
Yeah.
No F-bomb, no nudity really, stuff like that. But there is a lot of gore and stuff like that. So somehow that's PG-13. That's just how the world works. But yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense to me, honestly, just from reading it and everything. It matches the tone of the world. Because I mean, you don't always need to show the biggest amounts of blood and gore or nudity or drop curse words left and right to demonstrate how tough a world can be. You can do that in other ways. And actually, I think when storytellers can demonstrate how brutal a world is without doing those things, I think that's really amazing, because not that's not amazing when you do use those elements, but that's like a little easy stretch, right? That's the easy part. You throw those in, it's already being brutal. But when you don't have those elements, it becomes immediately harder, and you have to be more strategic and creative and out of the box to be able to say, okay, so those elements I'm not using. How else can I show that this is a brutal, crazy world? So I commend you highly for doing that, because I think a lot of people that might write a story like this, they'd go the other way. And not saying they're wrong to, but I think it's really cool what you've done here.
Yeah, because it's like one of those things, like, there's a lot of comics I've read over time where I feel like, even almost movies and stuff where they go, or even shows like The Sopranos or something, like, they have a tone and then they almost like change their tone to cross a line and go to another extreme to, go somewhere. And maybe, that'll happen eventually in Magic Powder. I don't know, but I don't feel like that's my kind of style of writing. So I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, you're gonna enjoy. It's like entertaining. I want it to be fun, even though it's effed up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not gonna come
right.
in here, read an issue of Magic Powder, and then like start crying. I don't think. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never gonna be that kind of feeling. Like, yeah, people are gonna be. I mean, you might shed a tear for someone died or something, but it's not gonna be like, oh, I can't believe they did that to me. I don't know. Maybe it will. I don't know. Because like when you tell me about like how the person, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe the way I look at it differently than other people. Like, because but I just think, for the most part, the idea is to just be entertaining, have fun, that kind of thing. And I feel like that's the main idea every time, no matter what. I don't want to catch people off guard and, traumatizing. Like, that's the thing. I think a lot of stuff in certain stories is almost like a triggering thing for certain people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't want to, like,
Yeah.
like there's not gonna be like freaking rape in Magic Powder. That would never happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just not a thing. And like with The Sopranos, when that happened, I feel like it just like it's not an episode you rewatch or anything. You know what I mean? It's like what like Deadwood didn't even go there.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. Certain stuff it's not for entertainment. I don't think so. And that's what I'm going for. So.
Yeah, I completely respect that. And I think that's the beauty of having creative freedom is you get to make those choices. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And you do the fun and entertainment so easily. Like, yeah, I'll feel other emotions while reading this and sometimes sad. But I actually do like that. I like that I can still feel very strongly about the comic, the story, the characters I'm reading. And then I can also put it down. And I'm like, that was actually so fun to read. Like, I felt these strong emotions throughout, and I'm still like, this was really enjoyable.
And that's another thing too, like even the drug aspect of it, like Magic Powder itself. Like I don't really show a lot of usage of it or anything like that. Like Breaking Bad, I feel like I knew some people who, growing up they had problems with these things, like real drugs in real life, so they couldn't even watch those shows because they're too realistic at showing it. So like I try not to even really go into that kind of aspect. Like you'll see like someone after they gotten high more so than getting high. But so like I said, there's like a lot of different themes and stuff like that. But the main focus is more the just the how it all gets produced, how it gets made, how the people sell it, all that kind of stuff. Not so much how they use it.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of that, But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to like break it down in so many different ways. Like now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, do we? Because like I don't know how other people read it. Now I feel like now I want to know what you think about it. Like,
I think it all balances out very well because I don't think it's too strong on any of those things. Like you said, it could go too strong on the drug stuff, but because that stuff I don't care for. Like I'm fortunate enough that I don't have a history with that thing in reality, but I don't care to see it. So I appreciate that about it, but it's still has it in the world. So it fills the world building that you need because it is an important element. And with everything else, I think you just have a good balance of it all. It's a very engaging read while still being fun. And I think it sounds like that's what you're going for. So that's exactly what you get out of Magic Powder. This is not going to be some big dramatic film that's going to ruin your life for the next 5 months. This is something that will be so fun that for the next 5 months, you're going to be asking, where's the next campaign? And Jeff's going to be like, we're working on it, but we got to fulfill this one first, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the thing, right? Like you don't want to scare people away. So you want them wanting more. So I always try to have a nice like cliffhanger ending too, since like you say, you want them coming back and stuff. So yeah, I think this issue, I think it's going to get like, I don't know. I don't want to spoil it. So I'm trying to think of how to say it, But basically, I think you're going to know where it's going by the end of this issue. Because by the end of issue 3, it's kind of like, oh, crap. Something's about to go down. But now you're going to see what goes down. It's going to get past that. And now you're kind of going to know where the last few issues are going to go.
Yeah. I'm excited, man, because the last issue got me, just like every other one did. You guys can hunt down my review of the first issue if you want on the Wednesday Poll List site. It's there somewhere. You can find it if you just Google it, I'm sure. But Jeff, thank you so much for coming on. Your Kickstarter, it is on track. We're going to keep it that way. We're going to get past, obviously, because our nerdy neighbors here also love Magic Powder. So obviously we're going to blow this out of the water. We're going to shoot for that 350 backers. Anything else you want to share about Magic Powder today?
No, that's really it. Just come get some, and that's it. 12 days we got left, and like I said, there's definitely some new comic idea I have in the future that's going to be linked to Magic Powder that I'll be excited to announce during the summer. So keep your eyes on that. Like we already announced the video game, kind of. Just a couple other things like that, and then like I said, let's get to 350 backers. Let's go. That's what I want to do. Let's do that, and then we'll focus on some new stuff.
Yes, 350 backers, and then Summer Powder ? Until we find out what the next project is. So that's I'm dubbing it its temporary name until Jeff tells me you're wrong. Here's the name.
And then I will also give another hint that the other person on the project is also named Jeff. So like if you can hunt that person down, that's up to you want to do some detective work of your own. That's up to you guys. But yeah.
Jeff squared. Let's go, Team Jeff. Jeff is coming through to barrel roll us in the entire neighborhood, and I am here for it. Jeff, plug yourself away. Where can people find you? Keep up with Magic Powder, all that good stuff.
Go to getmagicpowder.com if you want to, get issues. Sign up for my email list. My Twitter link is there. My Instagram link is there. If there's a Kickstarter going on, it's there. If you're on Twitter, I'm Jeff Schiller. Same thing with Instagram. If you're on Facebook, whatever, I'm sure you can type my name in and find me if you want to. That's about it. Social media wise, I don't really have a Twitch at the moment because I don't have, good enough internet and stuff like that. But,
right.
I'm on there for other people's Twitches and stuff like that. So, like, if you have a Twitch, hit me up. Maybe I'll come watch. I don't know.
In between Magic Powder and whatever other secret stuff he's got going on, he might have like 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Work and all these
5
other
minutes
crazy
of Jeff.
things.
You can't beat that.
Yeah, exactly. I get a lot out in 5 minutes. So, you can get a lot out of it.
Well, thank you so much again, Jeff. Those of you guys watching this at home later, I'll put all those links in the description below, the link to Kickstarter, Jeff's links, all that great stuff. So just click like 5 or 6 times and you're backing an amazing project and getting some kick-ass books and extras. So you're welcome. Here to help.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thank you, Lauren, for having me on for the 18th time. And hopefully I'll be on for a 20th time soon enough.
You will. We're going to make it happen. If you are now contractually obligated to be on this podcast 20 times in your lifetime, Jeff.
That's it. I'm going to break the record. That's it. That's what I'm going for.
Well, again, thank you, nerdy neighbors, for watching this. Be sure to check out all those links below. Back Magic Powder, of course. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video here and this channel. All that cheesy but super important stuff. It helps us grow. And then, of course, backing Magic Powder and checking out Jeff's work helps him grow. So please do that. And we'll see you guys next time in the nerdy neighborhood.